So today we're going to be talking about some news that came out while I was at work today. I was checking my news feed on Twitter and this popped up, and I even saw a few content creators, including you probably saw Epic Slayers covering it, and I was kind of wondering how true this could really be. So there is a guy named Roberto Serrano, and he's a business analyst, web tech project specialist, former PR and chief editor for 4news.it. Professional service delivery. I don't know what he is, but he 14,000 followers, not a whole lot, but he seems to have a lot of credibility with his name and what he answers. And a lot of people follow him, ask him a bunch of gaming, and he constantly provides answers that seem pretty legit. But there was one question in particular that caught everybody's eye that kind of stood out to me, and I was like, what? So a division agent said any updates about Division 3, and then he came out and said info about Division 3 coming this year, despite massive entertainment studios also working on Avatar game and newly announced Star Wars project, which we already knew. But what I didn't understand is he said info about the Division 3 coming out this year when we still haven't even got info about Division 2 coming out this year. Now, if this is true, this will be a shock to everybody. Maybe they will announce Division 2 DLC, and then maybe who knows, maybe they will announce a Division 3. I just really find it a little hard to accept that they could be announcing a Division 3 without even giving us any news on Division 2. I do know that we do have a new event coming up. You guys all know E3 is coming up shortly. And if you guys follow Ubisoft on any major media platform, on their Twitter, they did come out and announce that they're going to have Ubisoft Forward June 12th, 12 p.m. Pacific time. So that's part of E3, so it's going to be during the whole E3 event, but they're still calling it the Ubisoft Forward show. So at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time on June 12th, you guys can actually watch this. Now, this is exactly when I think that we will get some more news from the Division 2. And do I think we'll get any Division 3 news? I don't think so. I think it's a little early to say that. I think they would really build up the DLC or whatever they have planned for the Division 2 and then hopefully knock it out the park with the Division 3 later on. The earliest I think we would get anything for the Division 3 would be later on in the year, not midway through the year when they're still said that they were working on Division 2 content. Or maybe they decided, you know what, we're going to drop this new game mode, this DLC, and then start working on the next content. I just find it really hard. Maybe he misspoke. Maybe he really meant to say Division 2. But if he knows something that we don't know, hey, I don't really care. I would love to see a new game too. If they announced Division 3, I would definitely buy it. So I would be all about playing it. But do I really think that's realistic at this moment? It's kind of hard to really believe that they would really be bringing a Division 3 anytime soon. And some of the responses to his quote was like, where did you hear this? How do you know this? Is this just all made up? And that's what a lot of people are going to say about this, right? That's kind of hard to believe that they would be already talking about a Division 3 or going to announce one at least within the year, unless they've already been working on it for some time. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's even a possibility that they could be announcing something this year? I honestly don't think it would be at E3, but do you guys think, if we say all the way up till December, do you guys think that there's a chance that there's even working on Division 3? Or do you think he misspoke and he was really talking about Division 2? I don't know. I don't know how much to believe him. This is the first time I've ever heard of him. So to me, it's a little, take it with a grain of salt. I just wanted to report it because I saw the news come out and I saw people say that he's pretty credible, and I just don't know what to really believe. Now, I do want to get into some other news. I know Division 2 has been having a lot of changes in their personnel that actually handle the Division 2. A lot of different faces. We even got a new community manager. We no longer have our old one, Johan. If you read what he wrote on his Twitter recently, he said, I have some personal news to share with you today. This will be my final week at Ubisoft as I will be moving on to new adventures elsewhere. The Division community will always mean a lot to me, having spent the last 4 years of my professional life working on the Division. The creativity and passion of the community is truly remarkable, and it has been an absolute pleasure interacting with you both online and in person over these past years. And you probably recognize the other names that they mentioned, and it says don't hesitate to reach out to them. Now, it does say at the very end, thank you once again for everything. This game and community will always have a special place in my heart. So that is our old community manager headed off to new adventures, and now we have 2 new community managers fully taking over this job. We also no longer currently have a state of the game, because if you guys remember, Hamish was in charge of that, but he no longer is on the Division franchise. He's working on a newer title. Most likely they have him either on Avatar or even on the new Star Wars game, building up that community. So it's kind of weird to see that we're gonna have a lot of new faces, but maybe this is a good thing for the community. Maybe these new faces will bring that energy that we kind of miss, and hopefully we get some state of the games as we get closer to new content and more news. Obviously, there isn't anything for them to really post right now, because if they would be going up there and they would be having a state of the game, you would have 1 million people in the chat, not 1 million people, but you would have people in the chat just constantly spamming, what's next? When are we getting new content? When are we getting Division 3? Why are you even doing this state of the game? And I feel them on that. So obviously that's probably why they are not having this, and they probably won't have one until maybe we get closer to those news. So I'm still hopeful. I think pretty much E3 is our first checkpoint. If we get no news during that Ubisoft event, we would just kind of have to wait. But hopefully that checkpoint is when we will find out more about Division 2. Now back to the Division 3. Do I really think that's going to happen? I can't really say, man. I really think it all depends if Division 2 does well in its next DLC or whatever they plan on doing with it, whether the franchise will continue on. All we know is that we should be having content based on those shareholder meetings for 2021 and 2022. Ideally, if they can get that content ready and out to us, that's when we should be able to expect content first in 2021 and then more for the Division franchise in 2022. Now, we still don't know if that content in 2022 will be the Division 2 or the Division 3, but ideally, probably Division 2. That's what I'm going with right here. I just want to know, what do you guys think? What are your personal opinions on this whole topic? How many of you guys have ever heard of this guy? Do you guys know if he's a credible source? This is what a lot of people have been telling me, that he is pretty credible. I've never really heard of him, and this is the first time, but I am following him from now on to see if he puts out any more kind of little sneak peeks of this content, of saying that, yeah, we're going to have a Division 3 or we're going to have a Division 2. I just don't know where he got his information from, or if he can even tell us that, that it might be some kind of inside information he got. But hopefully we find out soon. I just want to know, what do you guys think? But we're going to wrap up the video here, guys. Remember, if you guys want to catch me live, twitch.tv/nothingButSkills. I do stream daily. We streamed last night. We had a lot of people in there. So it's a great way to come out, ask questions. And if I'm playing a different game, don't be scared to ask questions on the Division 2. But until then, hey, Nothing But Skills is out.